Hello and welcome to Bree's Quilting Adventures. I was just going to do a quick video about what's on my longarm today. Um, I think I'm going to start a series about what's on my longarm. And I don't know, we'll see how this video goes. I'm probably not going to edit it. I'm probably just going to upload it. I have tons of videos and I never get to edit them, so I don't post that often. So I think I'm just going to start unedited videos and we'll see how this goes. All right, so today I am working on a quilt for a friend. This is 2 years in the making. A good friend of mine, she wanted a kind of like a beach themed quilt, and I found this really great pattern and I wanted to try and find it. Cannot find it. Can't remember what it is. But it's really cute turtles. And what we decided was I wasn't going to do the pattern. I was just using the applique pattern for the turtles. And what we did is we put it on beautiful blue, and I did 108, and I cut it into 4 corners and I put it together so it's actually pieced in 4 pieces. And at the time when I was doing the applique, what I was using was Heat and Bond, which comes in the red package. Sorry about the lighting, because the lighting's very bright for my long arm. And I normally use Heat and Bond Light, but at the time I just could not get a hold of Heat and Bond Light, so I used, it looks like this. This is what I normally use. It looks just like this, but the red package. I hope I'm never forced to use that for my applique ever again. My long arm, it doesn't totally dislike it, and it's okay. It does work, but it makes this noise when it's puncturing through that Heat and Bond. It's pretty, it's fine, obviously, because my quilt's almost done, but I just don't like the way it sounds. So, as you're looking down at the quilt, what I was going for was that you would have like a helicopter view, like you're over the top, and you can see the turtles swimming, you know, kind of in the, you know, sort of shallowish water, or like they're close to the surface. So the quilting pattern that I decided to use was called Modern Curves, and I don't know how to put this nicely. I hope I never have to use this pattern again. It has 20 lines, and I made a 10-inch pattern. So every 10 inches, I have to pull my thread and go to the end, and then I'm releasing my carriage and cutting my thread and bringing my machine all the way back to the beginning and pulling my thread again. That's 20 times every 10 inches. And it's absolutely insane. This quilt has been on my long arm for 3 days. This is a new record for a quilt for me. I think the longest I've ever had a quilt on my long arm was 12 hours. And that's work time. But I usually get it done within 1 day or 2 days. I'm on day 3, and I'm very frustrated. I thought this pattern would make a wave. See if I can see this. Like make a wave and stitch down and come back, and go down and come back. It is not. It is one line, stop, go all the way back to the beginning, one line, go again. Excuse me. If you don't know, I can freehand, but I only do it for myself. I don't do it for any customer quilts. I only do that for me because my freehand it needs a lot of work, and I don't put a lot of time into it, and that's something that takes a lot of time to make nice. So let me just say, freehand long arm quilters, you are simply amazing. I use computerized. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the quilt now. and we will discuss some of the options that I chose. So this bluish, this was an all over, like I said, 108. It's a blender, and we got a pretty pool color blue. Now for the backing, we wanted to do a slightly different color. So like this, I don't know if you can see the contrast very well in the video, but what it should look like, hopefully, is that it's more nighttime. That's what we were hoping for. The thread that I used, I don't know if you can see. I'm going to try and get this. Ooh, go slower. Okay. It actually is a blue to green variegated thread. This is going great. So I used this thread by Grace. I love the colors. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. I have used the finesse thread from Grace a few times and not had any luck with my machine. This time, I'm not having any problems with my thread. I'm not sure if it's because my machine is more broken now, or if because I'm maintenanced my machine better now, but I have not had any problems. I can see like right here, where are we at? That's like a greenish color, and it goes back to dark blue. For the back of the quilt, what I used was a light blue, and mainly, let's see, that is because I had, this is not going to go well without editing, but you're going to get what you get. I had these two options, okay? Both were going to be okay. The main thing is I don't think I had enough bobbins of that left. And on top of that, this blue one is a glide thread. This light blue one is a Magna Soft, which is what I normally use, but that doesn't always have the colors that I want. So I did have to use the glide thread for this color blue. And I think it's actually turned out fabulous as far as blending the stitch color into the darker blue fabric. I'm at the end of a pass, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what I mean about being at the end. Here's my QCT5, and I have to release my sewing machine. I don't have to release. I could pull my bobbin, but it's close. It's easier for me to release my machine and then go back, ooh, all the way across the quilt to the other side. Okay, sorry about that. I accidentally cut off my camera. Anyway, so I'm all the way back at the other side. And then what I do when I'm close to the edge, I'm going to hit my move to next. And it goes to the right place. Slowly. And I'm going to pull my bobbin. Oops. I'm doing a real rough video here. It's all good. It's all good. So you get to see real time how my system works very slowly. And I'm going to hit sew. See this little turtle? Ain't he cute? I have my machine set up to do one stitch, a stitch forward, and a stitch back to lock it in place, and then I can release my threads. This is where it's going over that heat and bond. Just get a little closer together, and then they starting to widen back out, and that's what's creating that wave effect, I hope, when we're all done. And then it comes to the end. And then I have to, release my machine and go all the way back to the beginning of the quilt and pull my bobbin again. And I do that 20 times every 10 inches with this particular pattern. And I feel like there's probably a way with my software to make it go back and forth. I'm not entirely sure. Normally with pantographs, you don't have to go in and change those types of settings, so I'm not the best at it. So I tried to find out for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I gave up. I said, you know what, to heck with it, I'm going to get it done. I really did not think it was going to take this long. Whew. But anyway, it is what it is. So as much as I love these turtles, let me show you. As much as I love these little turtles, one of the things I did not do is I did not go around each piece of applique. I honestly thought this pattern was going to be close enough to be able to tack everything down. And 90% of the time that has been the case. But as you can see, I'm a little worried about how these edges are going to go. There's some in the quilt that's already been rolled up or whatever. Here we go. That give me a little bit of concern. So at this point, I feel like I should have done that prior to this quilting of the quilt. But what's done is done. So I guess from here I have to decide. I'm thinking about maybe keeping my light blue back thread, take this and wind it to a regular bobbin, and go ahead and get a invisible thread for the top and outline all the turtles. And that would be more like so you would see the outline of the turtles like on the dark fabric on the back, giving it more that illusion that it's more of a nighttime, like a dusk evening type looking down at the water. So that's what's going on my frame right now, and I would be happy to hear about any of your thoughts. What would you have done differently? Do you like the pattern I picked out? Would you have picked a different pattern? Is there a better pattern for water motion looking? Any types of those comments are great. Yes, I've been quilting for a while. Yes, I know better about not stitching my applique down, but I really thought this pattern was gonna take care of it. It just didn't. It is a lot of time to go around all these turtles. I have 15 or 16 turtles. This is a king size quilt, which is very difficult to put through my machine. If I could put invisible thread on my long arm, I could do it while it's on the long arm, but honestly, I have another quilt I've got to get on this frame, so that's kind of where I'm at. I hope you enjoyed this little what's on my long arm discussion. Have a great day.